Yo, what's the deal? It's yours truly, DJ Jazzy Jeff, and you are checking out Acton Entertainment. Yeah, well, you know what? I just put out a project with Dame Jordan. We actually are planning to not stop putting out music. Like we did the project, but we did it almost as an introduction to a continuous flow of music. So we're probably going to drop something. We have videos dropping almost every other month. We're going to drop a new song. I don't want to say it's a holiday song, drop something over the holidays sometime in November. And, you know, just continue putting out music. I've been talking to Rhyme Fest. We did a project a while ago. We were talking about coming back and revisiting that and putting that back out. And probably top of the year, I'm going in the studio with Will to try to do some new stuff on him too. Oh man, well, you know what? We haven't really sat down and mapped it out exactly what we want to do. I don't think it's going to be hard to make it stand out, seeing as though that we haven't toured for maybe about 12, 13 years. And I know him. He loves doing stuff big. We've been talking about, you know, some ideas. We haven't really sat down and really pieced it together. More than anything, it was kind of like, I think it surprised him the level of interest we got from around the world of people wanting us to do shows. So hopefully top of the year, you know, he's got a movie coming out around Christmas. He's going to do all the promo and press. We're going to sit down at the top of the year and map it out, rehearse, and then hopefully hit the road. I got a call out of the blue one day that someone said that Dre's trying to get in touch with you. It was a text message, and I thought it was a joke. Let it go. 10 minutes later, I got another one from someone else. Hey, this is such and such Dre's assistant. Dre's trying to get in touch with you. Thought it was an elaborate joke. And then I got a call from an old manager of mine in LA, and he hit me and was like, yo, Jay, Dre's trying to get in touch with you. So I was like, oh man, it's real. So about 10 minutes later, he called. And we seen each other maybe about 2 years before he called in Hong Kong. Got a chance to sit down and talk. We go way back. And it was crazy because, you know, this is right after the Beats deal, so I congratulated him and we kind of laughed about that just from where we came from to him doing the deal like that on Beats. And he was just like, hey, you know, I finally signed off on a Straight Outta Compton movie. It took a long time because this was my legacy and it was very important to me. But the DJ scenes, I really want them authentic, and I need somebody who was around in that time period to do them. So he was like, I don't think that there's anybody other than you that I would want to do it. So I felt definitely honored. And they just, you know, we talked about the scenes that they wanted. He sent me a big bucket list of music because I was just like, send me everything that you were rocking to at that point in time. And I just did DJ routines off of maybe about 30 or 40 records and sent it to him. And he was just like, oh my God, this was great. The first pass that I sent, I was trying to stick to the time period, and he was just like, listen, I need you to make me look good. So I went back and kind of revised it a little bit. Oh my God, man, that list is way too long. Way too long. And you know, there's guys out there, tall black guy, there's 14 Karat, you know, Eric Loud, there's, you know, oh man, the list is endless. You know, Taku, K Tronada, it's a lot of guys that are doing a lot of really cool and interesting things and pushing the envelope. You know, it's crazy now, because I had a conversation with Questlove, and we were talking about just the how the whole sampling revolution went. And then when it started getting to the point that people started getting sued, everybody kind of strayed away from sampling. And I remember he was listening to something that K Tronada did. No, he was listening to something that Taku did. And he said, this is what sampling would have been if there was never a break in it. So it's crazy to watch the break come in it and watch this generation kind of pick it back up and where they are with it, that we're just like, oh my God, look what they're doing. So it's a lot of dudes out there now.
Yeah, she got it, Petey.
Well, you know what? I think that depends on the person. Because there's some people who the machine is more important than the creative control. And there's there are people that are actually, that's more important. It's kind of like getting your ideas out and in the manner that you would like the world to hear them, to get a fair assessment of what you actually do was just extremely important. And I don't want to ever look at it like I didn't have creative control. I didn't have the level of creative control that I really wanted. I didn't have it like I have it now, that you can just kind of do it when you want and put it out when you want. And like I said, it really depends on the person. I've always said that the first thing that I feel an artist, a producer, or anyone has to do is be 100% honest with themselves of what do you actually want out of this. Because it's cool to say I want money. There's a lot of people that think that's a bad thing, and it's like, nah, I'm doing it for the art, I'm doing it for the culture. You know what? It's cool if you're doing it for money. Just be honest with yourself, because that's the quickest way to get to your goal. If you're just 100% honest. If you're doing it for the money, then this is the pattern that you need to do. If you're doing it for the art and love, this is the pattern that you need to do. If you're doing it and you got a little bit of both, then you got to figure out what pieces do you take from this side and what pieces do you take from this side. But just be honest with yourself. I think I would love for it to be an equal partnership between the labels and the artists. I think if it was a 50-50 partnership, I think you would have artists that would work a lot harder for their career, and I think it would make the record companies care a lot more about who they're signing. That it wouldn't just be, I'm going to sign someone, I'm going to get what I can get and just throw them aside. I think you would have a lot better artists and a lot better labels. I have no idea. The one thing that I can honestly say is my goals have never strayed into television. It's always been music. I would love to do music for television, which I've done some. I would love to do some scoring for movies. But even in the aspect of the film world, my approach would have to be musical. You know what? I don't think there's one. I think, and it sounds weird, I cut my brain off to stuff like that because what I've started doing over, especially like the past 5 years, I try to live in the moment. Like, I think the most memorable thing that I have will be tonight until tomorrow. I know that sounds kind of weird, but it's kind of like, it gives me a greater level of appreciation for what I'm actually doing. Like, I never wanted today to sit back and reflect on all of the stuff that I've done. And, it's kind of like, you know what? If I can think that one day I'm going to do that, let me start doing it today. Let me start doing it in the moment. Like, I tweeted the other day that I was kind of like, wow, I'm having one of those moments because I'm from West Philly and I'm in Bergen, Norway. Like, I trip off of stuff like that because I know where I came from, and just to be booked around the world, to to look at my calendar and see that I have dates for next September and next October already is a humongous blessing, because what it has to do with is it just means that you're doing your job to the point that people want you to come back. Way too many. Would love Kendrick Lamar. As much as I would love Kendrick Lamar is, to me, the prototypical artist that I almost wouldn't want to work with him, because I enjoy what he does. It's almost like I want to sit back and just enjoy what he does, and instead of touching it. And I think more than anything, to me, before Kendrick Lamar's album came out, you would have never expected it to sound like it did. Like, he caught you completely off guard. That's what an artist is supposed to do. That's, and especially in a time that people are too afraid to take those chances because of the industry, because of radio, because of things like that. I really, really appreciate the fact that he went out on his own and did something that was so different and so refreshing. To me, the irony of it is that's an album that I don't know too many people who listened to and didn't like, but you don't get a lot of artists that's following that pattern. Not doing what he does, but just being creatively free. I think my biggest issue is when I turn on the radio now, I listen to 20 songs and I can't tell the difference between one artist and another. Like, it's almost like you can interchange them. And that's not how I came up. Like, everybody had an identity. Everybody had some kind of an identity that when you heard it, you knew exactly who was who. You knew the difference from Big Daddy Kane to Rakim to KRS-One. And all of these guys now that you listen to, and it's kind of like, unless I'm looking at the video, I have no idea which one it is. First time I felt famous probably was I went out to eat with a girlfriend and I kept getting interrupted during dinner. First time I felt really famous was after the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air. It was an 80-year-old white woman came up to me and called me Jazz. That was deep, because I knew she wasn't calling me Jazz because of me DJ. Student. I am ever on a quest to learn more and see more. You can't have a level of success thinking that you know it all. You never know the answer. You never know the answer. Like, every time I go out and see someone play, I don't care how good or bad they are, there's something that I can learn from. Well, I have a website, www.djjazzyjeff.com. I just launched an app, a mobile app, that is out on iPhones and Androids. You can go to the App Store and download the DJ Jazzy Jeff app. It shows all of the Vinyl Destination episodes. It has a bunch of mixes and mixtapes and projects and tour dates, and it's absolutely free. Because I want to be with you on the bus. I want to drop a mix, and I want you to download it or stream it from your phone on the bus or on the train, on the tube, walking down the street. So that's it. And, just much love and appreciation for all of the support. It's amazing as long as I've been doing this, and it feels like I just started.